If you're watching this video without any context of my channel, I don't really do movie reviews, I review video games. And I've been working on an Assassin's Creed series retrospective for the better part of 3 years now, and I thought it would be appropriate to also do a video about the Assassin's Creed movie. I mean, why not, right? If I'm gonna talk about every single AC game released on consoles, I might as well talk about the big budget movie adaptation too. So I watched the movie, and wow. I knew going into it that the movie wasn't exactly well regarded, and a quick peek on Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes showed some less than impressive ratings from critics and viewers. But I honestly thought the movie wasn't going to be that bad. Boy, was I wrong. I'm not even sure where to start, to be honest, so let's just get into it. But before I do, I'll just say up front that this video will contain spoilers for the whole movie, so if you, for some reason, want to watch the movie, skip this video. I think that the main cast does as good of a job as they can with the material that they have. It's just that the material is not good. Michael Fassbender plays the main protagonist, a man named Calum Lynch, who is sentenced to death for killing a pimp. Cal awakens to find that his execution was faked and is now being held prisoner in an Abstergo facility. Sophia Reichen, played by Marion Cotillard, is trying to use Cal's genetic memories of his ancestor Aguilar de Nerja to locate an Apple of Eden by putting him into the movie's version of the Animus. The Apple of Eden is the same one mentioned in the Bible and is rumored to be able to control humanity. The main conceit of the series is that the Templars have been trying to influence and control the human race for thousands of years, while the Assassins have been trying to stop them, and both of these two factions have been searching for ancient relics like the Apple. Abstergo is the Templars, by the way. Cal is the son of two assassins, but never actually bought into their way of life as a consequence of witnessing his mother being apparently murdered by his own father and running away as a child. As I said earlier, the actors do what they can, and these are some good actors. Jeremy Irons also appears as Sophia's father, Alan Reichen, who has been mentioned in the games numerous times. The script just doesn't do them any favors, with most of the dialogue being vapid and hollow platitudes you've heard 100 times before, with constant mentions of the truth and freedom in the most basic and generic terms possible. To its credit, the movie does try to explore the themes of the games. It just doesn't explore it anywhere near as well as the games do, at least the better ones. The whole movie just gives off this profound sense of pretentiousness with its slow pacing and lame dialogue, with lots of actors just staring somberly at each other, with little in the way of actual human emotion. There's no levity in the movie, no humanity, which leads me to the movie's biggest sin. It's just boring. I could forgive bad dialogue, a lame script, bad editing, and everything else the movie gets wrong to a point, if it was at least enjoyable to watch to some degree, but it isn't. Hell, I would rather watch the Doom movie with The Rock over this movie, and it's not because that movie is good, it isn't, but at the very least you can get some entertainment value from it. Speaking of bad editing, oh boy, the editing sucks, particularly during the action scenes, which primarily take place during the Animus sequences. You've got these presumably cool parkour and fight scenes taking place, but it's hard to tell what you're looking at because the movie cuts between shots so frequently I genuinely had a hard time telling what was going on. It's especially bad when the movie decides to add in a bunch of dust for some reason that literally blocks what's happening behind a cloud of dust, both real and sometimes CG. There is a stunt in the movie that is apparently one of the highest falls done by a stuntman ever put to cinema, but you can barely see it in the actual movie because of all the fucking dust. What's the point of doing the stunt for real only to cover it up so much you can't even fucking see it? The CGI as a whole is hit or miss. Some shots look good, some not so good. The cinematography, however, is quite good for the most part. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the majority of action scenes happen while Cal is reliving Aguilar's memories, which causes a problem with the narrative. I don't know a single thing about Aguilar, besides the fact that he's an assassin and I think is in love with his assassin partner. This is a result of all the characterization being done for Cal and Sophia in the modern day setting. You know how in the games the majority of game time is spent playing in the Animus as Ezio or Altair, and you take the occasional break from the Animus to do a bit of stuff as Desmond in the modern time? Well, the movie has the same kind of structure, except it's reversed. The majority of the movie happens in the modern time with the occasional action scene in the past. Why would you make the focus of the movie the parts of the games that no one cares about? Well, I shouldn't say no one cares about it, but it definitely isn't the selling point of the series. The whole shtick of the games is getting to experience these historical settings like ancient Egypt or ancient Greece. No one is buying the games to find out what Layla Hassan has been up to. It's such a bizarre and baffling decision, but not the only strange choice the movie makes. In the game, the Animus is basically a really high-tech bed that characters can lay down in and experience their ancestors' memories. In the movie, it's this giant-ass robot arm thing that replicates the motions that Cal is performing in the simulation. I can understand what they were trying to do by making it seem on a surface level more cinematic, but it's totally unnecessary, doesn't make sense, and doesn't make the movie better. Another strange thing is that during the Animus sequences, which take place in Spain during the Spanish Inquisition, by the way, I know I didn't explain that yet, everybody speaks Spanish with subtitles. Now, I have no issue watching movies or shows with subtitles. In fact, I prefer to watch movies in different languages in their original language with subtitles because I cannot stand most English dubs for movies or television. But in the games, the Animus translates what the characters are saying to English or whatever language the Animus user speaks for the convenience of said Animus user. But it doesn't do it in the movie. Another completely unnecessary change that doesn't make the movie better. All in all, this movie sucks. It's just bad, and I don't like it. Its writing is bland and generic. Its editing is choppy and sloppy. Its characters are boring and lifeless, and I never want to watch it again. If you're a fan of the series like me, I mean, you might as well watch it for no other reason than to just say that you've seen it, I guess. I know, it's a glowing recommendation. For anyone else that isn't familiar with or just doesn't care about Assassin's Creed, don't watch this. It's a waste of time. I'm going to give the Assassin's Creed movie a 3.5 out of 10.